it is shocking to me how the majority's witnesses have identified as the solution to the problem of unbanked people in America. The solution is to destroy banks. That's what we're hearing today from the majority's witnesses. Think about this. If you put the post office in charge of banking America, consider the finances of the post office itself. The unfunded liabilities and the debt of the post office at the end of 2020 was $188 billion, more than 250% of its annual revenue. This is like asking the arsonists to put out the fire. It really is. It's absolutely crazy. And using the power of the government to crowd out the private sector, to politicize banking, will make it harder, not easier for Americans to access financial services. The Paycheck Protection Program is an illustrative case study in the comparative efficiency and effectiveness of the private sector versus the government. Congress deputized private banks to deploy aid to small businesses, and it was incredibly successful. Meanwhile, other assistance programs administered by the government and government agencies have languished in bureaucracy. Yesterday, the HUD secretary was here, and we saw it firsthand. Congress appropriated $45 billion for emergency rental assistance, and less than 4% of it has actually reached renters. And we want to put the public sector in charge of banks? Really? Really? Politicizing banking is not a good idea. Mr. Pawar, you said when a bank chooses who to lend to and who not to lend to, it is making policy. Does that mean you oppose banks categorically excluding providing financial services to, say, the fossil energy sector?
I didn't say that. What I did say was that public banking, Fed accounts are simply gap fillers. A healthy market does not leave this many people behind.
Let's not replace the private banking system with government-run banks. Mr. Berlow, how would that impact low and moderate income individuals if the public sector was in charge of banking?
I think at the end it was a presentation as you're currently thinking through that public and discussing assets that they can't fossil fuels, and you would do that if you get
You talk about redlining. You put politicians in charge of allocating credit. You put bureaucrats in charge of allocating credit. You're going to get redlining everywhere. I yield back.